Yeah. Good morning. Nope. Good evening. Sometimes I don't even know where I'm at. Please let me know if you guys can hear me. Put something in the chat box to let me know if you can hear me and if I might need to plug in my headphones. Hey, AJ Blunt, I was just thinking about you. Glad to see you today. And does this sound good, or is it better when I have my headphones in? If this is preferable, then give me a 1. If it's preferable how I usually have it, give me a 2. And that would be... So this is loud and clear, Cindy, huh? Okay, all right, all right. Well, then I guess I'll do it without headphones then. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe the headphones are crap. But I know that when I have people up here, it's probably better to have headphones on so that way the sound of the speaker, right, doesn't um, go into the into where I'm speaking, meaning like your voice going through my... Anyway, I'm not an engineer. That kind of stuff gives me a headache. All right, let me say hi to everybody. What's up, Alex? Very good to see you. Always good to... I talk to Alex like regularly, even when he's not here, and so I don't miss him as much when he's not here, but I do miss that he's not here when he's not. And AJ, of course, AJ Blunt, and Cindy is here. AI is here. Welcome. Hey, Sasquatch. Yeah, man, it's so I don't have a lot prepared today because I had to go back to I had to go back to the dentist, and um I didn't mention it earlier because I didn't want that to take up any of like what we were talking about earlier, but everything is good. I didn't need any more work, like surgery done, so I should be all done, like everything all done by the end of this month. And thank God that I have dental, right? Because if I didn't have dental, right, and a lot of people go through this, right, where you got to live a portion of your life, without all your teeth, and I appreciate how that could be, and I really empathize for that. And so I definitely don't complain about the dental pain because I'm grateful to even have it. And so you know I'll tell you a kind of a funny story is maybe not a funny story, but a wonderful story, to be honest, is I met two ladies at the Flat Earth I met two ladies at the Flat Earth meetup that was out here. I don't know, like 4 years ago. My friend wanted to go, and so she took us over there, and then we met these two ladies, right? This one young lady, I don't know, probably 10 years younger than me, and this older lady, right? And this I was like, before getting into like flat earth, I thought like, oh man, what kind of people are into flat earth? Is like, there's no real scientists or like, professional people, or I didn't know who was involved with it, really. And so she's like the young lady was like a dentist or something, like a dentist, or she did dental like apparatuses, or like, what do you call them, like prosthetics, she did that kind of work. And and then I met this other lady that ended up being, she's like one of my best friends, like in the world right now. But and this younger lady I still talk to as well. I still message her. But I had to get some dental work done, and um I was going to be without a front tooth for a while, you know, and it was, I don't care, like I'm like not really that vain, it does make you feel somewhat self-conscious, but like I didn't really care that much. But I was going to see my youngest son, right? And it would have been, you know, it would have affected me, seeing my kid. And this young lady, right? She had me like go to her house. She did like molds of my teeth in her, it in her kitchen, and then made me dental, like like a partial, so that I would have a tooth for my kid, so that I'd have all my front teeth. And what I mean, what a wonderful, she did that for free, That's unbelievable. Like it blows my mind, right? Just how lucky I've been in my life, and fortunate and blessed, right? And just how nice people have been to me, Because I know I don't deserve the way people treat me is like beyond what I could have ever imagined. And what's crazy, right, is that when I was younger in school, right, when I was a kid, real insecure, I used to think that, oh yeah, people are not gonna be like that to me, like that it would be the opposite, like I was very insecure as a kid, and I think part of that is because, growing up, like my family, we got evicted a lot and we moved a lot, and I didn't have like friends for like a long time, and I always had to start over. And so I was always insecure about that, and it's really been the opposite experience for me. But it goes to show you just how your thoughts, right, can control how you feel, because through that whole time, I never felt included. I never felt cool. I never felt, you know, like popular in any way. I never felt accepted, right? I always felt like an outcast somehow, but no one ever told me that. I just felt that way. And it was my own thinking, right, that made me feel that way. And it's weird how, like, when you get closer to God, you learn that it's not really the devil is your enemy. Of course he is, right? And it's not really the world, which it is, right? And our enemy, right? But it's ourselves, ourselves, our own thinking, our own flesh, our own understanding, our own ego, right? Is is our biggest enemy, our biggest thing to overcome in life, right? And I really try to think about all that God has done for me and all the wonderful people that He's put in my life, and where I would be without Him, I don't think that I would be, you know. And so, I just want to let you guys know, if you guys ever feel down, right? Or if you guys ever feel like not part of things, or if your family's, making you out to be the crazy one, right? You're trying to help. You're just trying to help, and it's easy for them to make us the scapegoat, right? That there are people, right, that are willing to give you that love that you seek from them. And so I'll round it up by saying this, right? I used to want my parents to understand what I'm saying and to respect all the things I'm saying. I used to want that from my brother. I used to want that from, my family, right? Because I felt like I needed it from them. They should give it to me, right? But I wasn't getting it, right? So it made me feel like I didn't have it, right? But in reality, I was getting that love from other sources, and I was ignoring it, right? And so I had all the love I needed in my whole life, right? I just never saw it in the right way, that sometimes you're going to get the love and acceptance that you want from a source that you might not think is giving it to you. And those are the people that really are there to support you. Those are the people that are there to help you through it. And we recharge and we go back and try to help our loved ones and, you know, show our value to them. And so self-esteem is a funny thing, isn't it? Like these last few years, I haven't really thought about it because everyone's just been so great. And the closer I get to God, the more I can just be happy on my own. But isn't it weird how, like, I don't know, I guess when you empathize with people's pain, right? You just sort of absorb people's pain that, like, somehow you feel different than everyone else. And I wonder if God, like, touches us, right? Because I know a lot of us are similar in that way. And that's why we're like, maybe from the very beginning, he was always there and this was always supposed to happen. And this is exactly where we were supposed to be. And I believe that. I also believe that it was choices, that we all had free will and we made choices, and this is where we are. I also believe that too. And maybe it's just a higher spiritual understanding of that, that it could be both. It could be, I'm here as a result of choices that I made, and I'm also here because God planned it this way. And He's given us everything we need to get here. Oh, I would love it if you posted that scripture so I could read it. I would love that. That would be amazing. Thank you, AJ. And getting into the book of Acts is something that we're gonna do, and I'm gonna have Teresa come up tomorrow in the morning, and we're gonna go through it. That's when we got the Holy Spirit. That for the first half of that book was about what Jesus was teaching, the disciples, and then the second half of that book was, what they did with the Holy Spirit. And Jesus connects everything, right? Whether in spirit you know, or in the flesh, right? And I can't wait for him to come back glorified, right? And to see him and to see his reaction when he sees me, because I constantly wonder what God thinks of me, constantly. Oh yeah, one thing I want you guys to do is to post your guys' channel so you guys can subscribe to each other. Hey Sky, how you doing? It's a cool owl. Yeah. But nowadays, almost every symbol is something gross out there, you know? I'm so taught to like look for symbolism and stuff now that it's like the world has perverted everything, you know? I don't use it, you know, like if only because like if I can avoid it, I do, but I don't view it as something bad. It's everything belongs to God, but I try to avoid it just because I know that like for us or whatever, we notice these things, you know. You know what's weird is that and I rarely watch like channels that are like derogatory or whatever that are, you know, trollish kind of channels anymore. But what's funny is like, you know, like I'll be doing like a stream where I'm talking to you guys and then I'll get like majorly trolled for it, right? You know, what else is new? Who cares, right? But then like someone will send me like that other person's stream and a timestamp and and they're saying my stream word for word to their own people, you know. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, but I don't know. I'm gonna ask God a lot of questions, you know, when I get out there. Maybe we'll already know when we're glorified, right? Like we'll already know like why things are the way they are and what everything meant, you know, and all that stuff, you know. Yeah, it is a blessing just to be healthy, you know. Hey Cindy, so does everyone in your family like play a musical instrument? Because I noticed that like there's always like a musical instrument, you know, whenever I see a video or a picture of your family or you or whatever, there's always something like that nearby. Just a musical family. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Sky, I'm tired too. I could relate to that. I wasn't quite I wasn't quite prepared for tonight's show. That's why it's just kind of me chatting with you guys because when I got back, I still had some time and I leaned my head back and I fell asleep. I must have really needed it, you know, because I've been kind of pushing myself to kind of answer all my messages, but I'm even behind on that now, you know. So if I haven't gotten to you guys, um, please don't think that it's because I'm ignoring you. I'm just like really behind on my messages, like, and but I will catch up. There's no doubt about that. I will catch up, and I'm up most of the night anyway, so it's easy to yeah. I zonked out. I completely zonked out. Your youngest daughter is tone deaf. Okay. Well, so is my brother. He had cancer growing up, and so he had a lot of surgeries on his inner ear and his brain, like on in that area, and so he lost a lot of hearing, and so he's tone deaf. He can't sing. He can't do none of that. So when people say they're tone deaf, sometimes even though they're bad singers, you know, if they're admitting that, right? Um, Tone deaf is something crazy. Is poor things, you know. Tone deaf is I don't know how they think they sound good being tone deaf, but yeah, it's unfortunate, you know. It's definitely something to overcome and deal with, and it's. But I used to remember like because my family was kind of a sports family, and we you tell them please don't sing, and but my family was kind of a sports family, and so we used to watch like the football games and baseball games, you know. And my brother would have the TV on so loud, man. And you felt bad for him, because you just wanted to hear the game or whatever. But I mean, the rest of the family did have to get used to that. Like it was something to get used to. You know, you don't want to, because he was the youngest of our family, so you don't want the kid to feel bad, right? He was the baby. It was me and my mom, my dad, and my brother. My parents didn't divorce until I was in the army, and so yeah, like we just sort of like, oh, Sasquatch, Sasquatch. Anyway, so they all played musical instruments. That's good. You know what? My great grandfather used to say that, and my grandfather used to say that all the time. Sasquatch, that they're full of piss and vinegar. I never understood that, but they used to say that all the time. My dad had a sense of humor the exact same way. Oh, my son said he stopped in for a minute to say hi. Let me see what he was saying. Oh, he said it was a good show. Oh, okay, that's cool. That's pretty cool. My son was here for a minute just to listen. My oldest. So that's pretty cool. Maybe he was hearing me talk about his Uncle Danny. Yeah, I'm tired too. Hey, Paula, how you doing? Welcome. It's just me chilling tonight because when I got home, instead of getting ready for the show, I fell asleep. And so I'm just like chatting with you guys. Let me text something to my son real quick. See if he could wait a couple minutes because I have to do something for him. Yeah, I feel good. So I put on my question, is everything is everything all determined and we know the end, or do we not know the future? Based on like, the books, the Bible and everything, right? And I'm surprised that it was 50-50 split, but I understood the sentiment of the people that were saying no. I understood what they meant, that like, yeah, nothing's revealed to us yet, right? Like we're still living it, right? But I definitely believe that like the end is determined as far as we know how the story ends and the winner, right? That part I have no doubt about, but like the living, you know, still having to make choices and still uh, living waiting for things to be revealed. Oh, what's up with Clutch? Is he all right? Hey, Clutch. Are you tired today, Clutch? Oh, is it what time is it out there? Um, I always forget where you're from, you know? See, I don't know what those are, Alex. I have no idea what those are. What is that food or is that like something you eat and you start tripping? So it's about 10:30 out there. Oh wow. Um yeah, it's only like that's the one benefit I guess being in I've lived on both coasts before. Not really both coasts. Well, if you count my time in South Carolina and Florida, those are both like short, 6 months, 8 months deals, right? But I lived in areas close to the east. I don't want to say too much, but I lived in a lot of places. But I remember that everything being so late, and everyone stayed up so late on the East Coast and woke up so early in the morning. You would think that that combination wouldn't exist. And in California, everything starts so early, and people sleep in real late. It's backwards, man. But I guess I guess that's just the way it is. I'm used to a baseball game coming on at like 5 or 7, and then on the East Coast, it's more like 7 or 9 or 10 or whatever, something crazy like that. Now I don't watch TV anymore, but if I was, it'd probably be ball games because I still follow the scores and stuff. It's just hard once you know what that stuff is to enjoy it. I still follow the scores because that's what I talk to my family about is sports. It gives me something to say to them because I just talk about God all the time. And I don't know, to some people that really wears them down. So I got to like limit how much I talk to people. I could talk about God all day long, and every day with no breaks. And I don't know if that's a blessing or sometimes it's a curse. I don't know, right? But there's nothing else I want to talk about really. So, but I do follow the scores of the games so that way I could say, hey, how about those Giants or something. And it's like small talk, maybe an entryway to maybe talk about God. And that's why I enjoy my conversations with Shepherd's Voice. Like it's nonstop talking about God. Even when we disagree, it's like, but I always get something out of it, even though it wears me out. Because when you disagree about stuff, sometimes it could get like tiring because you want the other person to see what you're saying. You know what I mean? I know. Pass said you have to pass laws to deny them their lives. Oh, the mandate. Yeah. If you have a medical issue, maybe it will be exempt. Oh, for yeah, they're doing some stuff like that out here, like with psychedelic drugs for mental health and that kind of stuff, that kind of stuff, micro dosing they call it or something. And there's a couple of clinics that I want to see. I don't know all this stuff, so I shouldn't be talking about it. But there's clinics that give out like ketamine or something like that, which is a pretty heavy duty drug, and it's for depression. And you never would think of that to be for that. It's odd. Not that it's good or bad because I don't know, right? But it's odd that they're coming up with like all these different uses for these drugs. And in I don't know if you guys heard of this, but in Oregon, right, which is the state right above California, they have decriminalized um, meth and heroin. So not making it legal, but you can't go to jail for it if you have a certain amount. That's crazy, isn't it? Like, I never thought I'd ever see a day where, and I agree that the jails and prisons are overrun with addicts, right? And I understand what it's like to be addicted to things, right? I had my experiences with addiction I struggled with it for years. And so I can understand needing help more than needing to go to jail, but to decriminalize something means like that it's basically legal, you know? I mean, it's as close as you could get to saying it's legal. Then, you know, it's weird. Yeah, and that ketamine is a horse tranquilizer, is what I heard. And there's a lot of a lot of people that do those raves out here, ravers or whatever. There's people that's all they do is throw those raves, and they make so much money. I mean, it's unbelievable how much money these people make just by throwing parties. Millions of dollars a year, you know. If you have a space for it, like a warehouse or something like that out here, and it's in like a big city like San Francisco, forget about it, you know. Your only problem is insurance, you know, because if you know people get hurt, you know that could be bad, you know, very bad. So you know, it makes you it really makes you realize like where this world is at, and like how God said that you know how this world would be in the end, right? And I'm starting to picture like you know Noah and how it was back then before the flood, and I'm thinking we're very close to that, like because I can already see like you remember like in the 80s when it was like wild to like get an earring or you know something like that, you know, and you'd come home and your parents would freak out or something. Oh, you got an earring, you know. And now I can see like you know with the way they're messing with DNA and with robots and computers and stuff, right? That like you know your kid comes home with a robot arm, you know. Hey, check it out! I just got it. I got a robot arm and a wolf ear. I had I had DNA, you know, my DNA edited, and now I got a wolf ear growing out of my head. You know, I mean that it's crazy, isn't it? Like that could I mean that could even be something that's possible. You know, or right around the corner. And I know that goes into the area of speculation, right? But it's it's all possible, right? And yeah, I know, man. I know. I mean, it's funny, but it's sad too, right? But like I think about it, you know, like wow, like can you imagine like but there are people, right, that and you know, like you see them on TV. I mean, now it's like I don't know what to believe anymore of what I've seen in my life, but there are people that like they feel like they're a lizard or a tiger inside, and so they like make their they tattoo their body and make themselves look like a lizard or a lion or something or some kind of cat. I mean, there's people that do that, you know. I mean, obviously they did something because there's people with all that stuff, so it has to be somewhat true, right? To have somebody even like that tattooed up like that. It's weird, you know. But see, like, I guess if you felt like, you know, inside that you're a cat, that's a problem, I guess. But if you feel like you're the opposite gender, then that's okay. It's weird how like it's like having a problem with your computer. You know, do you fix the the software, right? It's easy to fix, or do you like change the configuration of the outside of your computer? You know, like what would be easier to fix? You know, what's in your head or what's on your body? You know, what's less invasive? You know, it's a weird message they're sending to people. You know, and there's a lot of like double standards, right? Like you know, it's like, you know, they were talking about, I know it was on a couple other channels, they talk about like the Tuskegee experiments, you know, how horrible that was, right? And they want you to believe that, oh yeah, medical people are different now. It's all, it's all better. That was a long time ago. But then they want you to believe that that kind of racism is going on in other areas, like with the police, and it is, right? So we're supposed to assume that people are getting better in some areas, but not in others. And I've seen no evidence at all that people are getting better and more morally sound. I see people getting more degenerate as as we go, more and more degraded, more and more. I mean, the depravity that's out there is is tremendous. Like it's it's so sick, It's so sick. And so you know, but anyway, I went to the dentist today. Everything is good. I'll be done by in 2 weeks, and like it never happened. And so I'm happy about that. And so that's all set. And like with my stomach and everything, like I don't think I've been healthier in a long time. And I'm even a little bit fat. I'm kind of happy to see it, to be honest, because I was getting too skinny. I was getting scared. But now I'm back to being like a bigger guy now. And so I'm happy about that. And so I guess everything that I prayed for me, has happened. And so I hope that the things that, because I pray for you guys faithfully. I mean, there's not a day that skips that I don't pray for you guys. And I hope that you are, experiencing the benefits of that. And I know that, in my correspondence with Deb, that she's praying for people too, like specific things. And I hope that we're all been, because I want people really to see. I want people to see the power of God. Like big testimonials. Of just how big of a factor He really is right now. You know, I don't want people to forget, or I don't want people to think that He's not here. You know, and wouldn't that just be great if like something like that were to happen to one of us, like say like Rob ended up getting a better job than he had before, you know, making even more money or whatever, not that it's about money, but like that he can take care of himself even better after being put to that horrible decision. And so I'd like to see that, so bad. And um, I know that if I try to do my very best, I know God is faithful, and that I know that if I keep praying for the right things and I keep trying to do the right things, that we'll see stuff like that. You know, I know it because I've seen it my whole life. I've seen it, and so I think it would be great. So sorry for tonight being so calm, and so I didn't have my usual spunk. I guess I don't know. Hey, Darlene, I'm glad you're here. Who would you guys say is the best guitar player of all time, in your opinion? I think Randy Rhoads was the best, but I don't listen to music anymore. Randy Rhoads is pretty good, and he was young too. Yeah, Stephen Vai was darn good, man. Yeah, that's hard to argue. That is hard to argue. Clapton's darn good too, but Stephen Vai is better, I think. Joe Satriani, man. Cindy with the guitar knowledge. You know what? I heard Prince was a darn good guitar player. Like even better than like than he had really put out, and he was a pretty good guitar player even on his albums. But I heard he was even better than that. I heard rumors of that. I wonder if it's true. If anybody's a real Prince fan that's heard more than just on his stuff. No, but Cindy, I've heard that before though. That Prince was like some kind of genius. Who knows, right? Shame on all of you for knowing that. Exactly, you guys. Yeah, it's hard, right? Like it's hard to let go of those things. Like, I mean, I haven't. I don't know what it is. I don't even have the desire to listen to music no more. I'm not saying that it's like something I'm doing that you should all do, right? Because it just happened to me. I just stopped wanting to do it, so I don't even know how it happened. Um, but yeah, I used to enjoy music so much, right? And I understand when people say it's hard to stop doing it. And so what can I say to anybody? It's not like I quit listening to it, like I made the decision or anything. I just stopped for some reason, and I don't, I have no idea how it happened. So, but there are things that I need to quit that I can't, and I've tried, and it's hard to do. It's weird, huh? It's just it's weird how all that happens. Oh yeah, yeah. Purple Rain was a good song. I wonder what it's about. Probably, now that we know what we know, it's probably something to do with the devil. But back then I didn't think of it like that, and I never thought of music like that. I always thought of you know, I was very naive about that kind of stuff. But who knows? Like maybe I should look in to see what that song was even about. But yeah, I used to enjoy that song. I had a ex-girlfriend that used to play that song Kiss all the time from Prince. And it wouldn't have been so bad, but she played it over and over and over again, and man, it really it really got to the point where I was like, man, not this song again. It maybe it would have been okay. Yeah. Listen to the lyrics about 99. Okay, I'll look at it. But anyway, guys, there's something I do have to do for my son, and I told him to wait 20 minutes till I was done. And so I hate to cut it off right now, but what we'll do is we will do it again in 12 hours, right? And it'll give me time to put something together. And I know that I'll have Teresa on tomorrow morning, and we'll probably look at something in the book of Acts and probably go over like what the apostles had to go through as far as spreading the gospel, right? And like probably what we're gonna have to go through. It's gonna be hostile. There's still some more sheep to get. That's that's the only thing is it's really on my mind is getting more sheep, for God. And hopefully he produces new believers that we get to see right in front of us. But I have a feeling there's not very many out there left. And I want it to be a lot. Yeah, pray for a lot of sheep, new sheep. That would be great. Well, I love you guys. God bless you. Praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace. It's all the glory belongs to him. This is for him. And everything special about me is from him, because I'm not special in any way. And so I hope that maybe even a little bit of his glory comes through me, just a tiny bit. And so praise him. It's a good time to feel hopeful about the future because we're all going to meet each other in the sky one day, someday soon. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Bye.